Welcome to Talks with Dr. Gupta and Friends, the channel where we step back from the noise and look at the deeper forces shaping our economy, our technologies, and our future. This year, the Financial Times published a remarkable multi-part series of the Economics Show podcast. In it, Martin Wolf, the FT's chief economics commentator, and Nobel Prize-winning economist Paul Krugman come together to examine the powerful economic shifts unfolding in the aftermath of President Donald Trump's election. Their conversations are honest, analytical, and deeply thought-provoking. And in today's talk, I want to revisit some of their key insights and weave them into a broader narrative I've been following, the ongoing transformation many are calling the Great Unraveling. My goal is simple: to distill these complex discussions into clear, actionable understanding, especially for the younger audience of this channel. So let's dive in. The global order is shifting. Wolf and Krugman begin by highlighting a crucial observation. The world that many of us grew up in, the world of predictable globalization and stable alliances, is changing. For decades, the United States acted as the anchor of the international system. But the political realignment we're witnessing today, from rising nationalism to declining trust in institutions, is weakening that anchor. Countries are no longer certain of America's long-term commitments. Alliances feel more transactional. And as a result, the global order is becoming more fractured. This political shift is not isolated. It is part of a wider unraveling. Economic stability is no longer assured. Both economists stress that we are moving into a more volatile economic era. For years, we assumed interest rates would stay low, global trade would stay open, supply chains would stay efficient, and institutions would remain credible. But today, inflation has returned. Debt levels are historically high. Geopolitics is disrupting trade. And productivity growth remains stubbornly weak. Krugman often describes this moment as a regime shift. The old macroeconomic rules are fading, and new ones are emerging. This new economic environment is not temporary. It's structural. One of Wolf's recurring themes is the fragility of globalization. For years, companies optimized for cost, not resilience. Then came the pandemic, the semiconductor crisis, energy shocks, and rising geopolitical risks. Suddenly, leaders realized a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. Today, nations and corporations are rebuilding semiconductor design and manufacturing, energy systems, rare earth supply routes, battery and EV ecosystems, food and pharmaceutical resilience. The age of hyperglobalization is over. We are now entering the era of strategic globalization. Slower, more cautious, more political. Technology is redistributing power. Krugman makes a powerful point. Technology, especially AI, is no longer just an economic factor. It is a geopolitical force. AI is changing productivity, job markets, communication, even warfare. And unlike previous technologies, it evolves exponentially. This creates enormous opportunities for innovation, but also massive social disruption and new forms of inequality. The countries that master AI and advanced computing will shape the next global order. Technology is the new battlefield, quiet, continuous, and highly consequential. Wolf warns that economics and politics cannot be separated from society. People around the world feel more anxious, more polarized, more technologically overwhelmed, and less trusting of institutions. When societies lose cohesion, they become harder to govern. And without trust, democracies make short-term emotional decisions rather than long-term strategic ones. This breakdown in social fabric accelerates the unraveling of everything else: politics, economics, and even technology policy. What comes next? So where does this leave us? The Great Unraveling is not about catastrophe. It is about transition. Old systems, political, economic, technological, are loosening. New systems are emerging, but we cannot see their final form yet. The next decade will be shaped by new geopolitical alliances, redrawn supply chains, AI-driven economic restructuring, a rethinking of global leadership, and societies rebuilding trust. Periods like this are uncomfortable, but they are also fertile. They are moments where breakthroughs happen, in policy, in innovation, and in human imagination. So as Martin Wolf and Paul Krugman remind us, we're watching the end of one era and the early, fragile beginnings of the next. Our job is not to fear the unraveling, but to understand it, prepare for it, and navigate it with clarity. And thank you for joining me on Talks with Dr. Gupta. Happy new thinking!